you've had some kind of stressful things going on. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we're in the midst of a pandemic, and that's stressful enough for folks, but we've had some, I'm grateful enough that I have a roof over my head and I've got a lot of my needs met, but our house has really been challenged. We had termites and we had water damage, which in the midst of COVID brought a lot of people into our home, and so not only just that stress of doing that and then worrying about money, the cost of that, and just feeling already displaced because of COVID. We can't go out of our house really, and now in our house we've had to adjust, and it's stressful, and so we've had to, my partner and I have tried to, we have to balance that and come up with a plan, and we process things a little bit differently. I want to do it now. He's a little slower in his decision making, so yeah.
Okay, and that's tough too when you're trying to do it together.
Yeah. We get along really well, but it's just, I can make a decision right now and it will take another day for him, and so I just have to be patient, and he's patient too. He hears me out, but just the stress of it, and every day there's something, and we're like, oh, it rained, and how much rain do water do we have in our basement, so yeah.
Okay. Well, thinking about that, kind of the stress and the problems that has created, I want you to kind of look over the miniatures and put together a tray just kind of about that the stress and the problems that you're experiencing, and some of the feelings that go along with that.
Okay. Here we go.
All right, so tell me a little bit about what you've got in there.
So I feel like in one day, when we realized this was just a house, and there was literally a lightning bolt I felt. Like, it's not that lightning struck our house, but I was like, all of a sudden you're trying to adjust to the COVID world, and then boom, this comes along. And this represents kind of the water that we just thought we had termites. And what we learned is where you have termites, you have water. And it just got progressively worse. You just kept taking our whole basement that was finished is now unfinished. And it was unfinished in 48 hours. So and we spend all our time there. So that was just, again, we have other places to go, but I still felt really stressed about it. Hence, I saw the moon a lot. I didn't get a lot of sleep. That's really what I feel. I feel like we were just talking about how kind of waking up in the night and knowing like what's happening, if it's raining or what's happening the next day, and with a contractor coming in and how stressful that is. And these are just, we didn't have a fireman come, but these are just people who are contractors and people at our house all the time. We've probably had 25 people come through because we've had gutters, floors, termites, mold, water. We have electricians there, all kinds of things in order to make that happen. And it's a lot of money that we can utilize, and we're fortunate enough to be able to do that, but it's just a lot of money and big decisions to make on how you want to handle it. And I took this as like a crystal ball that I would really like to, you get this done. I've kind of tried to say, okay, this can be positive, but it's an old home and there's more stress ahead, I think. And I wish I kind of knew what was coming. So I think all of that is just increased my anxiety level a lot. Lack of sleep doesn't help. Worrying about money doesn't help. With the unknown of what's going on in the world. So yeah, really high anxiety.
Yeah, understandably so. There's a lot of components here that are all kind of adding together and kind of building that up. What do you think might be the most stressful component of that, like looking at all the different things going on?
It might be kind of not knowing day to day how it's going to work out, right? Like, because every day, and I think it's, again, the decision making process. I think we have a plan, and then we may not have a plan because my partner's rethought that out of rightfully so worry and want to do the best, and so I like things in control, and so does he. But I just feel like I wish I can have a better crystal ball and I could see the end game. And I can't, it's all moving parts. And when people come in and what happens and if it'll really work out, that kind of thing. So I think that is probably the most stressful. I can do things for periods of time, but it's hard when it goes on for a long time. So.
Okay. So kind of looking at that, just kind of the unknown is maybe the most
Yeah.
difficult piece
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe a note of, right, like that it will be more money or it will be less, right? Will it solve the problem? Will it be what we were making good decisions, but is it the right one? Anybody's gonna tell you they're gonna do a good job in your basement, right? And again, just the length of time, how to reduce that stress so I can get sleep and not have to worry, wake up at 3 a.m. to rain and be like, hold on, here we go. Yeah.
Now, what I want you to do now is to go back over and kind of look over the miniatures one more time and see if anything sticks out to you. Like if there was one thing you could add to this tray that might make this a little bit better. Can you tell me about what you picked?
Well, if I can think to, my favorite holiday, right, then that means hopefully this will be done. Like if I have something to focus on that is enjoyable and that this in time will pass, and that brings me a lot of joy. I could put the Christmas tree in here, I could put everything in here, that I enjoy that, and then I could see that basement and the stress reduced by then, just to enjoy that time.
Okay, so just kind of switching your focus or reframing it for yourself.
Right. I enjoy the decorating of Christmas. I enjoy, being with people who don't have the options we do of being with family and being a family to them kind of thing. So yeah, it has a lot of meaning.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right. Well,